What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday when I said 100% of the time the stock market goes down an average of 2.17% when the Fed starts cutting rates for the very first time in 9 months, and with a bearish outside reversal as we speak in the Qs at 597 and a quarter. Where are the obvious levels of support? And where might the bottom be? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just after the 3 o'clock hour here in the East Coast. Happy motherfucking Tuesday to you. And before I forget, congratulations. The DVLT crowd. This guy right here gave it to you about a week and a half ago at 38 cents. I believe that's the fourth time, including last night and this morning, you could have bought the stock in and around 40 cents. I didn't catch the move last trade, 66 and a quarter. But when you add this trade 4 times with CASK, C-A-S-K, I gave you that stock 3 times at 44. They changed the symbol to IPST. It ran to 130, all the way back to 65, back to $1 today. So what is that? About 150% in 2 stocks. And speaking of 2 stocks, I just bought 2 new ones. You want to know what it is? I'll give you a clue. The 2 names are in the first 13 letters of the alphabet. So A to L, I believe. But if you really want to know, pinned in the top comment. Save 50 promo code. That's 50% off your first month, and your second is free. In other words, you show me you're real and you want to get motherfucking rich, and I'll do the same at trysmallbiz.com. So when this video is over, make sure you take advantage of that. And again, I'll be traveling, if I haven't already told you that, tomorrow and Thursday. So you won't see me the next week. Get your 50% off, second month free, pinned in the top comment. Before you log off and think this is going to be a doom and gloom video and I'm going to stand on top of this desk and tell you motherfuckers that told me I don't know what I'm talking about, that in fact I do, I have right here some very bullish data that you're not going to want to miss. But let's start off with obvious levels of support on the Qs that we've already discussed multiple times inside of the Discord. We broke 597. They're trying like hell to keep it above that, but we're still in nosebleed territory on the MACD and the STOs. We haven't even had the bearish crossover yet. So I'm telling you, this sell-off is just barely getting started. And as I said yesterday, if you go back 50 years, almost a dozen rate cut cycles, when the Fed begins to cut, the next 2 weeks are down every single motherfucking time. And even though it had you convinced it wasn't going to happen at 6:02 and change on the Qs, whoop, here we go. We're beginning the process lower. The worst drawdown in 50 years in the following 2 weeks is almost 14%. The least drawdown is less than 1/3 of 1%. In my personal opinion, it's going to be average. Mid to upper 580s, 590 at least over the next week or two. And if it gets worse, as we've already discussed, you've got the 50-day moving average, which is also a major breakout area at 575. 50% chance or thereabouts we stay above that level. So we got to come down a good 20 to 25 points, which would be roughly 3 or 4%. That may not happen. If it gets worse than that, we've got 558, 551. You've got the double top all-time high at 540. And then the worst max pain, if something goes real wrong, the gap at 537. So simply put, I think we're going to have at minimum an average drawdown of 2.5 or thereabouts percent over the next couple of weeks. The stock market since 1900 typically bottoms on October 27th. So the roughly of over the course of the next month or so, we should expect a sideways to downside chop. And then these numbers are going to take over. But if you'll do me a huge favor, and this is the last time that you'll see me this week, give me a thumbs up or down. It really doesn't matter. And tell me in the comments below, did you cash in on DVLT again? Did you make money in IPST again? Do you want to know what the 2 stocks that I'm buying right now, along with 5 others, for a total of 7? Hit that comment pinned in the top after this video. Save 50%. You will not pay me this year or next more than $2.05 a day. That's a third of a cup of coffee at your local Starbucks. We just tripled our fucking money in the last 30 days. Are you that stupid not to take advantage of it? Obviously, some of you, including Connor, that I fucking threw out. Oh, actually, he quit, didn't he? You just showed your true colors, you fucking clown. Before I talk about what the next 1, 3, and 5-year performance numbers are going to be based on historical precedents, let me start off, if you haven't figured it out already. I don't put up with any bullshit. None. I don't care how tall you are, how tough you are, how rich you are, how badass you think you are. I've heard it all. And as far as I'm concerned, that's my family. My online fucking family. And they're getting rich. And any idiot that gets in the way, whether it's complaining about a fucking stock that's down 2% from last night, or the asshole that tried to defend him that just quit after I gave him a second chance. So what is that? The third fucking time you've quit? I am only going to herd 500 cats. That's it. It's killing me as it is. There's a lot of stupid people in this world. You would think if you just watch 22 wins in 30 days for 3x, 15 times your money in 2 years, you'd sit the fucking down and shut your mouth until you learn what the hell's going on. But that's not how most people are. And don't fucking dare throw shade my way, or I'm throwing your ass out. Fucking assholes. We're about halfway sold out. We've been closed twice. Everybody knows what happened. We're not going over that. I'll then have a waiting list. When someone quits or drops dead, I'll let everybody know on the list. First come, first serve. So if you want to get rich, you want to work with a guy that's been in the weeds 30 years, half of that as a broker, it's pinned in the top comment. All right, 1 year after the Fed starts cutting. So we're going to have a correction. We're probably going to bottom in and around the last part of October, get somewhat of a seasonally strong finish, but December and or January, we're way out over our skis. The Qs are up from 400. They peaked at 602. We've never had a 52% bounce in less than 5 months, ever. So there's going to be a lot of volatility, in my opinion, over the next 6 months. But if you go out 1 year from when the Fed starts easy money and cutting rates, and they're going to do it 3 times. They just did it, another one in October. They've already said yes to December, and another one in most likely February or March, 17% gain. This is going back over 50 years. Every single time. Not only have we had the average drawdown of 2.17% the first 2 weeks, but if you go out further to 1 year, the average gain every time is 17%. And this is in the S&P. So add even another 5 or 10 to that in terms of the NASDAQ. 3 years out, 41%. 5 years out from when the Fed starts cutting rates every single time, a dozen cases over the last 50 plus years, the average 5-year return in the S&P is 82%. 16 times that they started cutting within 1% of all-time highs like they did last week, every single time the market 1 year forward was up an average of 15.9%. So that aligns with the 17 that I just gave you. In closing, we are in a major secular bull market. Near term, we're way overbought. We need to rest. We need to chop. We need to pull back a few percentage points. But go forward 1 year. There is not a single precedent going back over 50 fucking years, 5 decades, where we weren't up approximately 17% in a year, 41 in 3, 82 in 5. And if you correlate that with the Qs, you know, the ones I told you to buy as low as 400 during the fake trade war, you're going to have somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 minimum by the time we hit 2030. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always remember that I love you. And if I were you, I'd join us right now in the pinned comment at trysmallbiz.com.